Joshi and I go way, way back when he was over there pioneering at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore and trying to straighten out the administrators who were psychologists, plant breeding research.
Now, I don't know from where to start because we go back for so back 35, 40 years ago. But Tom, I have come here simply for one reason. Thank you publicly on my own behalf and on behalf of the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. I know for sure that without your guidance and mentorship, what we achieved at the university, we could not have done that. In my own professional development, I am at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and I am a professor emeritus there. Significant contribution in getting me this rank or title or degree comes from you. You have always given a good counsel, and your advice was always valuable. In the early stages of soybean development research at university, things, when you cross the Bay Bridge 4 miles long, things change. And to come back here for consultation is much more difficult because money flows much more rapidly this side than that side. One very significant contribution were all the 1890 schools. These are the minority land grant schools. They are highly indebted to you because the first regional project approved by USDA would not have become a reality if your help was not available. I remember coming to Beltsville and meeting you in your office and asking you, please come with me to the administrator of USDA so that there can be, some faith can be installed. The reason was that at that time, the authorities did not believe that minority schools can handle regional projects. And Tom was there, and this person was trying to convince me, don't call it a regional project. Call it something else, a group of scientists or this. I said, no, we are fully capable of doing it. And I said, you can ask Tom, he has been helping us, he knows what we are. And Tom, thank you for saying yes, they can do it. So Tom, again, thank you very much for all the help. And wish you good luck in your future endeavors. And one more, Dr. Dodson and Fauzi. So please come here. Yeah, please come here. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there were three of us went downtown, Dr. Joshi, myself, and Dr. MacArthur Floyd, to persuade ARS administration that they could do this. And we explained how you could put all this data into one publication, and then they were happy. And these good people at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore received Billy Bryant. Where is Billy?
We're right back here.
I hear a voice. The man without the hair. Billy through their good graces, was received at the University of Maryland Eastern Shore to further his academic career before he came over to this side to the University of Maryland at Colony Park. And so without you, he would never have gotten on the road. So we thank you for that. In fact, there were 2 professors that went on with him with his application to the admissions office.
Okay, anybody,
Time here
anybody else you want to call on?
oh, I'm going to pull up. I'm looking at thinking of the chronology.
Well, actually, one thing I did want, I was thanking people, and I forgot to mention Ottawa too, basically lined up the symposium that we had and made all the arrangements.
The inspiration goes back to Dr. Matu, and we had the retirement of Dr. Owens and Dr. Gideon Schaefer, and he organized a beautiful presentation that brought class and dignity to Beltsville, which is not always apparent. This is Father Ray Lilly. Father Lilly is at Gonzaga High School. He taught for many years the biology program there.
34 years.
And, he was twice the biology teacher of the year for the
Thanks to this gentleman here.
city of Washington. And Father, he brought out these wonderful students, brilliant minds, and great
50 of
workers.
them. Since 1976.
And they were marvelous. There were times I had no help at all, and those kids were the backbone of my program. And the very first genetic linkage that we found was one that was done by the O'Hare boy. He found that genetic linkage. Then we went back the next year and we repeated to make sure that we were correct. So it was a very wide linkage. Mendel worked for years looking for linkage, and he didn't know it existed. And I knew it existed, and it took me 80 years to find the first real linkage. So Father works with Sister Philomena Malvo. Father is, if you don't mind me saying, about 80 years old.
That's right.
He's still, his hair is not all gray.
I've done this man for 35 years. We met at the DC Science Fair. And when he found out, he went to Fordham and I went to Fordham. And that made us one. And then from that on, I sent 2, 3, 4, 5 students every year to the, out here, my better students, and they went, doctor put them to work in the labs. They came back and made grand prizes at the DC Science Fair, and that's how I got my awards. Yeah, but no one else volunteered to bring them out.
But you brought them out. Other
Yeah,
people
I
said,
brought
why
them
don't
out.
you go out to Beltsville? But Father Lilly didn't mess around. He brought them into the car and got another kid with another car and a whole entourage of them.
But here was my link. Here was my link to Beltsville. Without this link here,
Now, Sister Philomena and Father are engaged in a ministry of visiting the sick.
right? We visit the sick in the homebound. And Sister,
Sister, this is
we've been doing that for 12 years since I retired from Gonzaga. I live in the community and work in the parishes in the neighborhood, Holy Redeemer and Assumption. And I also work at St. Aloysius, I say Mass there. So I do a little bit, and Sister and I visit the sick and homebound. And she is a member of the Sisters of the Holy Family from New Orleans. And Sister is we're trying to get her foundress canonized. So the doctor thought it was a good idea. She said a few words about Mother DeLille. How many have heard of Mother DeLille? 1, 2. So now everybody here will have heard of Mother DeLille.
I'm Sister Philomena.
You want to get a picture of us? In the middle.
And about the order that you founded.
We are the Sisters of the Holy Family, founded in New Orleans, Louisiana. Our headquarters are still there, even after Katrina. We thought we were totally wiped out with Katrina, but we're in the process of rebuilding right now. About 2002, the Superior General At the time, Sister Sylvia Thibodeau ordered every area where the sisters work, start a group of Friends of the Lil, because her cause had been accepted by Rome as the first black candidate from the United States for canonization. But the postulate assigned to us was disappointed when he began his work. He says, this woman is not known. She's barely known by people. So our mandate from the Superior General was to make Mariette DeLille known. And at the time, there were 4 of us in D.C. So we had to start a group of Friends of DeLille. Well, there was no question asked. We recommended Father Ray Lilly as the chaplain for the group. So he became the spiritual director for a small group of people. And if anybody knows Father Ray,
We do now.
nothing starts small, remains small. So he's been the fire behind Friends of DeLille, pushing the cause.
Through the alumni at Gonzaga.
And it has,
And the
it
alumni
has
at
actually
Beltsville.
grown. In fact, the sister Doris Goodall, who is the local director for the cause of canonization, just marvels every time she's, sister, I just can't get over them. You know, we have the best Friends of DeLille coming from Washington, D.C., which is the smallest group of sisters there. And every time I said yes, and I smile, and I said, thanks to Father Ray Lilly. Well, it's through Father Ray Lilly, Dr. Devine has become a member. For 4 or 5 years,
Longer.
he's been a supporter of.
Tell them about the work with the sisters. You
Yeah.
have schools and you have
Well,
nursing homes. and-
Mariette started out as a young woman of color during slavery time. In fact, she was in the teens when she experienced that. Now, she was a member of they had the free women of color. Her mother was a free woman of color, though she's the great-granddaughter of a slave from West Africa. But she could not understand how people could treat people. You know, if a slave could no longer do a full day's work, that slave was just abandoned on the street, no shelter, no food. So she started out with one friend of hers that remained faithful to her death. Both of them were free people of color. And the life of a free person of color was, you know, much better than that of a slave, even though it was still, you know, a feathered freedom, I call it. But they would get whatever food that was not claimed at home, and they'd bring it to these people that were abandoned on the roads, but with no food. So by the time she became early 20s, she was familiar with the Ursuline sisters, who at that time were working in New Orleans, and the Madam of the Sacred Heart. 2 orders established, and they had members there who worked with the white of course. Well, she wanted to become a sister, but to work with the African American members of slaves mainly. And she found out that she had insulted the community to ask for entrance there. Well, she said that if they wouldn't take her as a nun, she could start a community of her own.